I never thought I'd be the kind of father who lived states away from his child. When my ex-wife Sarah and I divorced 8 years ago, Ria was just 8 years old. This bright, curious little girl who loved reading fantasy novels and could spend hours drawing elaborate maps of imaginary worlds. The divorce itself wasn't messy. We'd simply grown apart, wanted different things, and had the maturity to recognize it before things got ugly. What made everything complicated was timing. About 6 months after we finalized the divorce, both Sarah and I got transferred for work. I was in tech sales, she was in pharmaceutical research, and both of our companies wanted us in different states. We sat down together, the three of us, and had one of the hardest conversations of my life. Ria needed stability, consistency. Moving her twice in 1 year seemed cruel. Sarah's transfer came with a significant promotion and better schools in the area. Mine was lateral, though in a city I'd always wanted to live in. After days of discussion, spreadsheets of pros and cons, and more tears than I care to remember, we agreed Ria would live with Sarah primarily. I'd fly her out once a month for a weekend, have her every summer, and alternate holidays. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel. It encourages us to keep bringing exciting stories like this to you. And we did. We FaceTimed almost every day. I never missed a monthly visit. Our summers together were sacred. When I met Nora 3 years later at a friend's barbecue, I was upfront about my situation from the start. She had a 3-year-old daughter, Emma, from a previous relationship that had ended badly. Nora seemed to understand the complications of co-parenting, of loving your kids while navigating complex custody arrangements. When she first met Ria during one of our summer visits, she was warm, engaged, asking Ria about her books and her drawings. Ria told me later that she liked Nora, that she seemed nice and not fake. We got married 5 years ago when Ria was 11. Nora had always said the right things, that she loved Ria like her own, that our home was Ria's home too, that she wished Ria could be with us more. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? She'd send Ria birthday packages, text her occasionally to check in. When Ria visited, Nora would plan activities we could all do together. Emma, now 10, adored her older sister, and Ria was patient and kind with her. Our life had found its rhythm. I worked in sales, making decent money. Nora worked part-time in marketing from home, allowing her to be present for Emma. We'd been discussing Nora becoming a stay-at-home mom starting next year, something she'd wanted since Emma was born. I was supportive. We could afford it, and Nora argued it would give Emma more stability. Everything seemed stable until this school year. The first call from Sarah came in late September. Ria had come home upset about some boys in her class making comments about her appearance. Sarah had contacted the teacher, who promised to keep an eye on it. I called Ria that night. She tried to downplay it, said it wasn't a big deal, just stupid boys being stupid, but the calls kept coming. By October, the comments had escalated. The boys, 3 of them, all in her grade, had created a group chat where they'd screenshot photos from her social media and write crude things about her body. Other kids had been added to the chat. Someone showed it to Ria. She was humiliated. Sarah and I both contacted the school. We had emails, screenshots, documentation. The principal held a meeting with the boys' parents. I took a day off work to join via video call. The parents were defensive. Boys will be boys, it's just teenage stuff. Their sons said it was all jokes. The school issued warnings. The group chat was deleted. For a week, things seemed better. Then, it got worse. The boys started following Ria in the halls, making kissing noises, rating her out of 10 loud enough for everyone to hear. They'd bump into her accidentally, make comments about what she was wearing. Other girls started avoiding her, not wanting to be associated with the target. Ria's grades started slipping. She stopped wanting to video chat as much. When she came to visit over Thanksgiving, I barely recognized my daughter. She'd always been this confident, articulate kid, the type who'd debate me about politics or book plots. Now she was quiet, withdrawn. She barely ate at dinner. Emma tried to engage her in a board game, and Ria just went through the motions. Nora noticed too. "What's going on with Ria?" she asked me one night after Ria had gone to bed early. I told her everything, the full extent of what had been happening. Nora listened, her face sympathetic. "That's horrible. Those boys should be expelled. The school is failing her. We talked about it over coffee the next morning. Ria opened up a bit, especially to Nora, who asked gentle questions and seemed genuinely concerned. "You deserve better than this," Nora told her. "No one should have to deal with that." Before Ria left to go back to Sarah's, she hugged me tighter than usual. "I miss you, Dad." Something in my chest cracked. Sarah and I started seriously discussing alternatives. The public school system had shown its incompetence. There was one private school in Sarah's area, smaller, better reputation, stricter policies. It was expensive, but between Sarah and I, we could swing it. We'd get Ria enrolled for the spring semester. A fresh start. December came. Winter break. Ria was supposed to come visit for Christmas, but she asked if she could stay home. She said, "I just need some quiet time," on the phone. She sounded exhausted. We agreed, planning instead for her to visit for New Year's. Then came the call that changed everything. It was a Tuesday afternoon, around 3 p.m. my time. I was in the middle of a client presentation when my phone started buzzing repeatedly. Ria's name flashing on the screen. She knew not to call during work hours unless it was urgent. I excused myself and stepped out. "Dad?" Her voice was destroyed, raw from crying, barely above a whisper. "Sweetheart, what happened?" She could barely get the words out. The boys had gotten her new phone number. She'd changed it after Thanksgiving, but someone had given it out. They'd been texting her for days, explicit messages, photos they'd found online and claimed they'd share, saying it was her, threats that weren't quite threats but felt menacing. She'd blocked them. They'd created new numbers. Yesterday, one of them had followed her home from the bus stop, staying about 20 feet behind her, calling out to her. She'd run the last 2 blocks. Sarah had gone to the police. The police said there wasn't much they could do. No direct threats. The boy claimed he was just walking in the same direction. The school was on winter break, so they couldn't intervene. "I can't do this anymore, Dad." Ria's voice broke completely. "Even if I go to the new school, everyone knows. The whole town knows. Their parents are friends with everyone. Mom's trying, but I can't keep living here. I can't keep living like this." My heart was pounding. "What are you saying, honey?" "Can I come live with you? Like switch the schedule? I know it's a lot to ask, and I know it would mess things up, but I can't stay here. I'm so tired, Dad. I'm so tired of being scared." I didn't hesitate. "Of course you can. Of course. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work." "Are you sure? What about Nora and Emma?" "Don't worry about that. You're my daughter. This is your home too. We'll do everything in our power to help you with this." She sobbed, this time with what sounded like relief. "Thank you. Thank you so much." We talked for another 20 minutes. I told her I'd call her mom, that we'd start figuring out logistics, that she could be here before the new semester started if needed. When we hung up, my hands were shaking. I immediately called Sarah. She answered on the first ring, sounding as wrecked as Ria had. "I know she called you," she said. "I was sitting right here." "She asked to come live with me." "I know." Sarah's voice was thick. "And she should. God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but she should. I failed her here. The school, the police, this whole damn town, we've all failed her." "You haven't failed her. The system failed her. You've done everything right." "It doesn't matter what I did if she's not safe, not happy." Sarah took a shaky breath. "I'm going to look into transferring to your area or finding a new job there. I don't know how long it'll take, but I need to be near her wherever she is. We'll figure it out together, but right now we need to get her out of there." "I agree. Let's plan on getting her there before the semester starts. I'll help her pack, get her transcripts ready. Can you handle school registration on your end?" "Absolutely. I'll take care of everything." We talked logistics for a while longer, practicalities, timelines, what Ria would need. Then I hung up and sat in my car for a moment processing. My daughter was moving in. Full time. The monthly visit dad was about to become a daily presence dad again. And then I realized I hadn't talked to Nora. I checked my watch. She'd be home with Emma. I should have called her first, or at least right after talking to Rhea, but everything had happened so fast and Rhea's need was so urgent. I called Nora. "Hey," she answered. "How's work?" "I need to talk to you about something." Rhea called. "Is she okay?" "Not really. Things have gotten worse with the bullying, much worse." I explained everything, the texts, the following her home, the police involvement. She asked if she could come live with me, switch the custody arrangement with Sarah. Silence on the other end. "Nora? And what did you say?" Her voice had changed, flat, careful. I said of course she could. She's my daughter, and she's in crisis. I told her we'd make it work. "You told her yes, without talking to me first?" "Nora, she was devastated. I couldn't tell her I needed to get permission from my wife before I could help her." "Permission?" Her voice rose. "It's not about permission. It's about respect. It's about the fact that I live in that house too, that Emma lives in that house, and you're making massive decisions that affect all of us without even a conversation." "I was going to talk to you right after. I'm talking to you now. This is an emergency situation." "I don't care if it's an emergency." She was yelling now. "You should have said, 'Let me talk to Nora and call you back.' That's what you should have said. But instead, you made a unilateral decision about our home, our life, and now I'm supposed to just accept it?" I felt anger rising in my chest. "Nora, this is my child, my traumatized, bullied, desperate child. What did you expect me to say?" "Expected you to be a husband as well as a father. This is too much of a change for Emma, for me. It's going to disrupt our entire home. I should have a say in this. I should have a veto." "A veto?" I was almost shouting. "You think you should be able to veto whether my daughter can live with me? I'm your wife, and she's my daughter." She hung up on me. I sat in the parking lot, gripping the steering wheel, trying to process what had just happened. This was Nora, who'd always said she loved Rhea like her own. Nora, who'd been sympathetic just weeks ago. What happened to that person? When I got home that evening, Emma wasn't there. "She's at my mom's," Nora said, sitting at the kitchen table with her arms crossed. Her eyes were red. "Nora, can we talk about this calmly?" "I've had time to think," Nora said, her voice controlled but cold. "And I need you to understand something. I didn't sign up to be a full-time stepmom. When we got together, Rhea was a summer and occasional weekend situation. That was manageable. That was what I agreed to." "Situations change. She needs help." "I'm not saying she doesn't need help. I'm saying I'm not equipped to provide it. I'm saying no to Rhea moving in." I stared at her. "You're saying no?" "Yes. And if you insist on going through with this anyway, if you disregard me completely, then I need you to know that I will have no responsibilities towards Rhea. None. I won't help with anything. If you ask me for help with Rhea, I will say no. I'm making that clear right now." I felt something break inside me. "This goes against everything you said when we got together, everything you've ever said about Rhea." "That was when she was visiting. This is different." "She's 16. She drives, does her own laundry. She's completely independent. She doesn't need you to parent her. She just needs a safe place to live." It's still a disruption. It's still a change Emma didn't ask for. Emma adores Rhea. Emma adores visiting Rhea. Living full-time is different. I took a breath, trying to control my temper. "Nora, if this is how you want to be, if you're going to refuse to be part of this family when one of its members is in crisis, then I need to reconsider a lot of things, including you becoming a stay-at-home mom next year." Her face went pale. "You're threatening me financially?" "I'm telling you that marriage is a partnership, and partnerships require mutual support. If you're not willing to support my daughter in her time of need, I need to reconsider what kind of partnership this is." She didn't say anything for a long moment. Then, quietly, "Fine." "Fine what?" "Fine. Do what you want." She got up and went to the bedroom, closing the door behind her. Later that evening, Nora's mom dropped Emma off. I heard them talking in low voices by the door before Nora's mom came to find me in my home office. "I need to say something," she said, looking uncomfortable but determined. "Nora told me what's going on, and I need you to know that I think she's being ridiculous. I'm ashamed of her." I didn't know what to say. That little girl is being tortured, and Nora's worried about convenience, about disruption. I raised her better than that. She shook her head. "Do what you need to do for Rhea. Don't let my daughter's selfishness stop you." "Thank you," I managed. She left, and I heard raised voices from the bedroom, Nora and her mother arguing. Eventually, her mom left. Nora stayed in the bedroom. Emma came and found me, asking if everything was okay. I told her everything was fine, just some adult stuff to work through. That night, Nora slept on the couch. Over the next few days, I threw myself into logistics. I researched schools in our area, gathered the paperwork needed for enrollment, found contact information for therapists who specialized in trauma and bullying. Sarah and I talked daily, coordinating Rhea's move. Rhea herself sounded a little more hopeful each time we spoke. Nora and I barely talked. She'd started venting to our friends, though, and that's when things got more complicated. Our friend Jason called me. "Hey man, I heard what's going on. Nora's pretty upset." "Yeah, I know. Look, I get that Rhea needs help, but I kinda see Nora's point too. You guys made this big decision without her input, and she lives there. Shouldn't she have had a say?" Rhea was in crisis. Was I supposed to tell my traumatized daughter to wait while I got permission? Not permission, but I don't know, man. Just seems like Nora should have been part of the conversation before you committed to anything. Another friend, Lindsay, texted me. "Heard about the situation. Must be so hard. But changing a whole household dynamic is huge. Nora's feelings are valid too." I started to doubt myself. Was I the asshole here? Should I have said, "Let me talk to Nora and call you back"? But every time I thought about Rhea's voice on that call, so broken, so desperate, I couldn't imagine having her wait. Other friends were firmly on my side. My buddy Marcus texted, "Nora's out of line. Kid comes first, always. End of story." Sarah's sister called me directly. "I don't know your wife well, but what she's doing is cruel. Rhea needs both her parents. Thank you for stepping up." Even my coworker Anna weighed in when I mentioned the situation. "My stepdad did something similar when I needed to move in with my stepdad and my mom in high school. It saved my life. You're doing the right thing." But the division among our friends was real. Some saw Nora's perspective, that I'd made a unilateral decision affecting the whole household. Others thought Nora was being selfish and cold. The group chat we shared with several couples went silent, awkward. Late one night, unable to sleep, I lay in bed replaying everything. Nora was still maintaining her position, no responsibilities towards Rhea. Any decisions about Rhea had to go through her first, especially financial ones. I hadn't even asked for her help. I'd been doing everything myself, registering Rhea for the local school. I found a therapist who specialized in adolescent trauma and bullying, and we have an intake appointment scheduled for the week after she arrives. I've been ordering things for her room, new bedding she picked out, a desk, some posters and decorations she wanted. Sarah has started job hunting in this area and has a few promising leads. She's devastated about Rhea leaving, but agrees it's necessary. We've planned Rhea's move for 2 weeks from now, early January, before the new semester starts. Rhea sounds better every time I talk to her. Not happy exactly, but hopeful, less exhausted. She thanked me again yesterday, told me she loved me, said she couldn't wait to be home. Home. She called it home. Nora and I are civil but distant. We talk about logistics, about Emma, about day-to-day things. We don't talk about Rhea. We don't talk about us. I catch her looking at me with this expression I can't read. Anger maybe, or resentment, or regret. Emma is excited about Rhea moving in. She's been asking when her big sister arrives, talking about all the things they can do together. Nora doesn't comment. Our friends are still divided. The couples we used to see regularly have pulled back, uncomfortable with the tension. Some have reached out individually to offer support. To me, to Nora, sometimes to both of us separately. I'm starting to think this marriage might be doomed. How do you come back from this? How do you rebuild trust when your partner showed you, in your daughter's darkest moment, that their support has limits, that their love for your child was conditional? But maybe I'm the one who destroyed the trust. Maybe by not including Nora in that initial conversation, by essentially telling her she had no say, I broke something fundamental. I keep coming back to that moment on the phone with Rhea. Her asking if she could come home. Me telling her, of course, without hesitation. Would I do it differently if I could go back? Would I say, let me talk to Nora and call you back? No, I wouldn't. I couldn't. She needed to hear that she had a safe place to go, that her father would move heaven and earth to protect her, that there were no conditions on her being able to come home. But that conviction doesn't change the fact that my marriage is falling apart. It doesn't change the fact that some people think I'm in the wrong. It doesn't change the cold distance between Nora and me, the way she looks at me now, the separate bedrooms we're sleeping in. Rhea arrives in 2 weeks. She'll have her own room, her new school, her therapist, her father. She'll be safe. She'll be home. And I'll have a traumatized daughter who needs support and a wife who wants nothing to do with helping her. A wife who feels disrespected and steamrolled. A marriage that might not survive this. I tell myself I did the right thing, that when your child is in crisis, you act first and figure out the rest later. That Nora's reaction revealed something I needed to see. But late at night, when I can't sleep, I wonder. So, am I the asshole?